Welcome to 3-Minute Thoughts. So, I am an ex-smoker. I smoked probably a pack a day from around roughly 92 all the way till 2002, somewhere around there. It's about 10 years. That's a lot of cigarettes. I'm actually not going to talk about that. What I'm going to talk about is I saw this meme, which says in the 1950s, some people were selling cigarettes to patients in hospitals, and I'm thinking, yeah, actually, that is plausible. That's very plausible. And so it made me go down the rabbit hole of my own mind and the rabbit hole of the internet of trying to think of the non-smoking movement in the US. As a kid in the 70s, smoking was very prevalent. You'd see it everywhere, literally everywhere. Planes, restaurants, whatever. And so I was curious, like, when certain landmarks started, like, because this meme talked about the hospitals, when did hospitals become non-smoking? That didn't happen until 93. I'm sure some hospitals probably individually went non-smoking before then, but that was legally when they all went non-smoking. The non-smoking movement, because restaurants used to have a non-smoking section that started in the late 70s, about 77 or so. They'd have these signs saying non-smoking and smoking section. And when you went to a restaurant, you'd ask which section you want to be seated in. Now, it all is just a facade, a theater, because smoke is in the air. It travels. So even if you're sitting in the non-smoking section, smoke still comes over to you. You just have less of it. Airplanes had a non-smoking and smoking section. It was 1990 when domestic flights had the non-smoking light. You see it when you're flying. It has don't smoke, like non-smoking. 1990 is when that permanently got turned on all the time. So before then, yes, there was smoking in airplanes, even though everyone's breathing the same air. All the seats, and I know I talked about this in another video, all the seats had ashtrays. I used to take my gum that I chewed and put them in these little ashtrays. Cars used to have ashtrays, and they actually had working cigarette lighters in their cigarette outlet. And I totally forgot to talk about theaters, which looked like they started banning smoking in 87. Well, also, here's something I was mentioning all these various things to a friend of mine who is not too much younger than me, and they didn't know that there used to be cigarette vending machines pretty much everywhere. Crazy. They had a little pull knob. It was about, I think, 85-ish when they said you couldn't sell cigarettes to kids anymore, and that's when those vending machines started going away. But here's a surprising thing. In my high school, so 85, when I was a freshman in high school, there was a smoking porch for the students right outside the cafeteria. So during lunch, you could just go out to this little porch and smoke at the high school when I was 15. Yeah, that only lasted that 1 year. After that, they banned the smoking porch, which it was a big hoopla, but there was bigger things to high school to worry about, like when the principal accidentally caught the high school on fire. Oh, yeah, the principal accidentally caught the high school on fire. That's a fun story. Anyway, those are my thoughts. What are your thoughts on the whole non-smoking movement? Makes you think, considering how pervasive tobacco companies were throughout society and their influence, how companies today, like soda companies or in social media or other companies that are so influential, how they will be seen in the future. Let me know. Thanks.